Hey y'all, it's your buddy 16-Bit Gambit coming at you with another video. And today, instead of shameless self-promotion, I'm going to flip back over into sharing something with y'all that could save you a little bit of time and effort if you're in a crunch, or if, say for instance, you're working with, you're limited by your art assets. So the topic of this video is I'm going to show you how to take your existing assets and then X times the number of assets you have. So what I mean is, if you've got an existing JPEG, existing PNG that you're using for a sword or a spear, a helmet, a bush, something, you can tweak the colors just a little bit and get enough variance so that it looks like you've got more assets than you actually do. So I'm going to explain the principle, and then I'm going to show you how I'm using it in my own game, Uncanny Valley, to basically double the number of weapons I have available and potentially even do more than that. So to start off, I've got a new scene. I've just got a 2D sprite. You can go ahead and create one by coming over here, clicking on another node and selecting 2D sprite. And I've also gone ahead and called it example sprite 2D. And I've created a script to go with it, and I've just saved it. And right now, both of these guys are empty. So over here, I'm going to click on the sprite, and I'm just going to bring in a bush that I've been using in the game. Super simple, big, bright, colorful bush. And for the sake of this demo, I'm also going to go ahead and make sure the scale is at 4, so it's bigger whenever we do the test run on this guy. Next is I'm going to demonstrate manually the process that I was talking about. So if I click on this one, right now this is that standard color. Whenever it shows up in the game, unless there's something on top of it that's semi-transparent, this is how it's going to look. But if you go into self-modulate and then you start messing with the color schemes, it's going to make this edit to the sprite. So maybe you're in a swamp, you want it to look kind of sickly and green. Maybe you're in the sun and you want it to look more warm and on the yellow side, or maybe you just want to give it kind of like a purple sort of tint to it, like you're in the shade or close to being underground. You can get those values by coming over here, and I go to linear and I get these decimals over here as edits to that color scheme. Then I click out, and for now I'm just going to go ahead and reset it back to standard. I'm going to go into that script. And in the script, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to define the sprite real quick. So on ready, var sprite equals this dude right here. Also, make sure to use on ready so that it holds off on defining that variable until that sprite is loaded. Then I'm going to create a variable for selecting the color option. So color option, we're going to make that one an integer, and we're going to have default to 0. We're going to go ahead and have a couple of variables for changing that value just for the demonstration. So var change up, and that's probably going to, if I can spell right, charge. And var change down. Those probably go to booleans. We're not going to have anything for the ready function. And we're going to go ahead and create a function called function update, if I can spell today, color. And this is just going to be an if statement. So if color option is equal to 0, then we're going to do sprite, the name of this variable, modulate equals color. And just have the standard starting up. So 1, comma 1. Probably help if I press numlock. 1, 1, 1, 1. So that should be red, green, blue, and alpha, unless I got the order incorrect. If, yank it back, elif. LF, and we're going to do 0.3, 0.7, 0.71. Oh, that's weird. Usually it's got that little square that shows up. We're going to type the whole thing again real quick and see what happens. 0.3, 0.7, 0.7, 0.1, so dot modulate equals color. There you go. Not bad. So make sure the brackets are right, or parentheses are right next to it, and then you'll get that little color bar so you can see the results of your typing. So 0.3, 0.7, 0.7, give ourselves a nice light blue, 6, 0.6, and 0.1. Get ourselves something a little bit more on the red side, and 0.5, 0.5, 0.2, get kind of like yellow greenish. And then, although this is all good and well, there's nothing to call this function for the demonstration. So the example that I'm using in my game that I'm going to show after this is applied to the weapon sprites for the character, and it calls this function twice. It calls the function whenever you're first starting the game, or whenever the level's first loading, and then it calls the function whenever the menu is closed. So basically what it does is it recolors your weapon whenever the menu is closed or when you first load. So if I've got the same sprite for using two different weapons, that's what calls it. But for now, just for this demonstration before the greater demonstration, I'm going to create another function. I'm going to call unhandled input, and that's where I'm going to be using these change up, change down guys. And so change up equals input dot is action just pressed, and we're going to go with player 1 move left, change down, and say move right, right, and then we're gonna say if change up. So if I just pressed left, what I'm gonna do is color option plus equals 1. If color option is real quick 0, 1, 2, 3. If color option is greater than 3, we'll go back there and add the colon. Color option equals 0. Add the colon real quick. And so now the alternate is elif. Change down. Color option minus equals 1. If color option is less than 0, color option equals 3. So that should have us bookended on either side. Hey y'all, it's me again. Recording this one after the fact because since Microsoft Game Bar is such an awesome software, both times I went into running the game in debug mode, it just recorded a gray screen instead of the actual gameplay. So getting back at it, this is an example what I was talking about. I got the script ready to go, and if I press left, or if I go right, you can see that although it's the same sprite, that color scheme changes. So if you've got multiple currents of the same sprite, you can adjust the brightness, adjust the color to it, even adjust the scale based on, loading values, like on ready and then load the values from like an export variable or something like that. And you can increase what appears to be the number of yard assets and give a little bit more variability to it. Now we're going to go back to the code in the original video. Now we're back in the Godot. Like I said, at the end of this function right here that's catching all that unhandled input, I've just got update color. And so it takes the most recent color option and it updates it. You could include it in each of these ones so that it only runs update color after you give an input, but not everything is going to be updating every single frame. So here's the example that I was talking about a second ago. In my character script, which handles a lot of stuff right now, Basically, it calls select animation whenever the player is first loaded to the map and whenever the menu is closed. And so what select animation does is it does a quick reference to what the character has equipped. So character data is the data that's behind the animation for my character. It's got the health, the attack, all of the items that are equipped, and I've got it broken down into the character sprite, the weapon sprite, and the slash animation. And so it says, if there's no weapon, don't load an attack sprite or a weapon sprite or a slash sprite. If the character has the rusty sword equipped, then what I would like for you to do is load the weapon sprite and then set modulate equals to 1111, which is the native color of what it is I first defined. Same with the soldier spear. And then in regards to the next level up for the sword, I got the red goblin sword, and it modulates the color for the sword to be more of a red, same with the sprite. And then for the higher level spear, the dory, which cool enough is apparently what Hoplite's name for their spear was, I modulate it more towards the blue. So real quick to illustrate it. Hey, it's me again. Like I said a second ago, I had to go ahead and re-record these sections where the game is running. It's not a game problem, it's a Microsoft game bar problem. So going into a new game real quick, and I updated the starting inventory so that I would have 2 examples for each of these color schemes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to the menu, and I'm going to go to equip. I'm going to start with the rusty sword. I'm going to unequip that firefly because I got nothing to light up. And you can see I've just got that standard sword color scheme and animation whenever I first come here. And when I go to equip the red goblin sword and I exit the menu, now it's red. All that is that's the original sprite with that red color scheme applied to it. Same with the attack animation. And it's just when the menu is exited, that's when it does the reload and adjusts the color as far as the PNG is concerned. So if I actually go back to the original rusty sword, here, same thing. Also, if I go and I equip soldier spear, this is the standard spear animation. Wood shaft, metal looking tip, and then just like that white streak as far as the slash animation. And if I go back and I equip the dory, now you can see I've applied that blue shift to it once again just in the code. Whenever the menu is closed, it applies this. But that's it. A super simple concept, and it'll allow you to save time. Say if you need more art assets, at least for now, and you don't have the time to make them, you can just do color shifts on them. You can do a change as far as the zoom is concerned. It's probably easier to do that for the more static ones like those trees in the background. But that's it. I hope you learned something. If you did, go ahead and like, share, maybe subscribe. And if you got nothing better to do and the weekend's coming up, it'd be very helpful if you were to do me a favor. And if you're running Windows, head on over to itch.io and download yourself a copy of Uncanny Valley and try it out and let me know what you think. At this point, I'm trying to get it ready so I can submit it to the next Steam Next Fest. So if you got good input, I can apply it. Otherwise, y'all be good, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.